Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons, from withering willows to whimpering whelps. And today we're talking about white dragons.
The Dungeoncast. Getting ever closer to the end of the Year of Dragons.
That's right, Will. It's still the Year of the Dragon. We are coming up on the end of it, and I am totally warmed up because we just played some fucking F-Bats.
So let's cool you down with lore about the white dragon, also known as ice dragon.
Hit me with that icy breath.
All right, so in Dungeons and Dragons, white dragons, also known as ice dragons or glacial worms, are considered to be the smallest and weakest of all the major 5 chromatic dragons. Mm-hmm. They also have a reputation for being the least intelligent and the most animalistic of the major 5 chromatics as well.
It's a bad reputation to have.
It's a bad rep, yeah. And some even go as far to say that white dragons are nothing more than vicious reptiles driven by hunger and greed.
Just some big animal.
Right. But make no mistake, although much of white dragons' reputations are earned, this is still a dragon we're talking about. They are neither weak nor are they stupid.
Right. I was going to say, like, the intelligence is still above, like, average par of most creatures, right?
Definitely of most creatures. I would say a white dragon, like an adult white dragon, is probably about as intelligent as your average person. And,
okay.
Yeah, and then an ancient slightly above.
Okay, so
it's like, just when you're comparing it to the other dragons that are hyper intelligent, it's like, oh, you're the dumb one.
So this white dragon is like working a desk job, and like the ancient white dragon is the manager.
Right, sure, yes.
Okay. I'm just like average as fuck.
Indeed.
All right.
So yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
So though they are smaller than other chromatic dragons, white dragons are only slightly smaller than black dragons, which is the next biggest on the power size rankings.
Right. Because the bigger the dragon, the more powerful. Generally
basically,
speaking.
It's like the older a being is, the bigger and more powerful it tends to be.
Right.
It's just a general rule.
And the darker the color of the dragon. Not necessarily.
No, not necessarily.
Because the next one's
red.
black.
Yeah, the next one's black, and then the final one is red. So.
Yeah.
But white dragons are a bit stockier in build than their more gaunt black dragon cousins.
Okay.
Besides their scales, which range in color from an almost translucent white to a more ice blue white coloring,
Ooh.
White dragons have a few unique physical characteristics from other dragons.
Okay.
So the first being their sleek profile of their head and crest. Their head and neck seem to blend seamlessly with one another. That paired with their beak-like nose, pointed chin, and prominent single head crest that curves back to a point, white dragons have a very aerodynamic-looking profile.
Cool. Okay. That's like different from some of the flatter face, like more... I picture like shovel-faced dragons.
Yeah, there's a lot of like shovel-faced dragons, like with more like broad brows and whatnot.
My face is a shield.
Yeah, or more like flayed-out crests.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like these guys are like real like pointed and slim.
Okay. I wonder, are they dealing with more like stormy environments than some of the other dragons?
They are. Now, again, this is like their head and neck. Their bodies are actually stocky and really well muscled.
Cool. For like fortified against the cold.
Yeah, exactly. And also for other things, which we'll get into. So their wings have a bit of a frayed look on their edges, and they have a spine skin flap on their neck below their chin called a dewlap, which is like, I'm trying to think.
Like a turkey?
Iguanas kind of have it too, or it's like that flap of skin that's kind of spined, kind of hangs below the chin.
Like a turkey.
A turkey's way more extreme. This is
that's like
very, very
stuff.
slight. Yeah.
Okay. I see.
More like a lizard.
Okay.
They're like I was saying, their limbs are well muscled and very suited for climbing. When they're exceptionally good climbers.
Why would they need to climb?
Because they live in Arctic areas with like glaciers and whatnot. And if they want to like climb up a cliff and get into like a hole or something like that, or if they're chasing something like on ground, that like flying would just not be logistically a great way to hunt them down.
So they're in more scenarios where their flying isn't as good as being on the ground.
So essentially, white dragons are the ultimate survivors, which I'm going to get into a little bit later. They are excellent swimmers, excellent climbers, excellent flyers.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Like they are the best hunters among dragonkind.
They're the Bear Grylls of dragons.
Indeed, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
They also have what are called nictating membranes on their eyes, which protect their eyes from the blinding light flashing off the snow.
Oh, wow. That's really well thought out.
Yeah, like I said, they're great survivors. It is said that white dragons exude a dry scent, which is almost like the absence of a scent. And I'm not sure what that means, but that's what the book said.
That's like the scent of charcoal. Like charcoal is like an air purifier in some ways.
Sure,
It's
yeah.
like removing. Like it's
I can see that.
The absence of smell.
I would imagine the smell of charcoal is dry.
You know how when you go into like there's a scary movie and you go into the forest and like everybody's like, "Do you hear that?" And everyone's like, "No." And the main guy's like, "Exactly. It's too quiet. Run."
White dragons are like that, but just with their scent.
This one's like, you go to the Arctic and you're like, "Do you guys smell that?" And they're like, "Oh, come on, Timmy. Just quit fucking cutting ass." It's like, "No, they don't smell anything." They're like, "White dragon."
Oh, no.
Okay.
So part of the reputation white dragons have for being less intelligent than their counterparts is because, well, they are. But the other half of this reputation is that while other chromatic dragons are known for reveling in intricate schemes and politics and ambitions and all these other things, white dragons prefer to live their lives as hunters and treasure collectors.
Cool.
They view all aspects of their lives through this almost pragmatic filter of a hunter mentality.
Okay.
If these guys didn't live in the Arctic, I imagine they would get along very famously with lizard folk because they have a very lizard folk way of thinking.
Sure, the survival tactic is like
they're
embedded into them.
Exactly. They're just like lizard folk, but with a really mean streak because they are evil, while lizard folk are just like neutral, emotionless.
Right, and they're probably around the same intelligence scheme. Like lizard folk are pretty average, right? A little lower.
A little lower than average, I think, is what's generally accepted.
And these are like slightly above average.
Yeah, well,
creatures.
they're average all the way until they hit that real old state, and then they're like, "Oh wait, I think I got things figured out a little bit.
I can read.
I can read."
When did this happen?
That's hilarious. So, because of this mentality, white dragons make for the best hunters and survivalists of all chromatic dragons. They know all the best ambush locations for miles around. They memorize the moving patterns of prey in their territories, and they often keep caches or larders of frozen prey hidden beneath snowbanks or within ice caves throughout the regions.
My horde is a bunch of frozen limbs.
Yeah, exactly. And they leave it like sprawled out in different like survival pockets.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. So if you like, I imagine if you're an adventurer and you see like an arm sticking out of a snowbank, and then you dig and you're like, "Oh shit, there's a bunch of bodies here." There's probably a white dragon
I just found
nearby.
6 frozen caribou under this mound of snow.
Shit!
Should we get the hell out of here?
We need to get the fuck out of here. Exactly. That's too funny. So not only are white dragons proficient at hunting, but they do so quickly, efficiently, and brutally. They choose their prey based off of convenience and effort. So whether it's sentient or not doesn't really matter to them. Which is quite different from other like chromatics, which are very specific about eating sentient people, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, they like to. Some dragons play with their food, right?
Exactly. White dragons do not play with their food. So, like a farmer's cattle have more meat on their bones and have less defenses at their disposal than the farmers themselves. So it's an easy choice for the white dragon. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm going to grab a cow because it's delicious and big. And
Okay.
you're scrawny and small, and I don't care about you.
Got it.
Furthermore, white dragons do not play with their food, which is what you just said.
Okay.
Chromatics play with their food. White dragons do not. They lack the vein of cruelty of black and green dragons that cause them to wish to cause pain and fear in their prey.
Because
They
they're
just don't got
they're-
time for that.
Yeah, exactly. They're more concerned about living. So
Yeah,
they
they
don't
just-
have time
I'm
to
just
fuck
hungry, bro.
around. Okay.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Exactly.
But I'm sorry about that. But I'm not.
They lack the need to manipulate, lord over, or interrogate their prey too. It's like food is food. They slay first, they eat second, and they never consider asking questions ever.
Ooh.
It's just the white dragon way.
Okay.
So, any questions before I keep going?
I just fire my guns and I don't ask any questions. No. I'm
They're
good.
pretty straightforward. When killing their prey, white dragons prefer to strike from ambush, incapacitate, and then devour. All in one swift movement, if possible. Pragmatism at its finest. Like, keep it simple. Exactly.
Okay. So I guess party interactions with the white dragon are not like it's harder to negotiate with the white dragon.
Extremely hard because like there's nothing to negotiate. It's like you food, I eat you.
I eat you.
Yeah.
You look good. Freeze death. Then me eat.
Yeah, the only
Okay.
negotiation you can do is with your sword, in which case the white dragon is like, all right, this is more difficult than I wanted. I'm going to go eat those caribou that I have in my larder.
In some scenarios, it might be more dangerous to happen upon a white dragon initially. I'm saying in the long term.
If they got their eyes on you, they're going to strike in the dead of night, and they're going to aim to kill, and they're going to aim to kill quick.
Right, like this white dragon's going to kill me now, but this green dragon's going to string me along.
Exactly.
And that might be its fall point where I can have an opportunity to turn the situation
Probably
around.
comes
But with the
before the
white
fall.
dragon, I'm in a fight.
Yeah, you're in a fight, and it's not going to not be a fight unless you can somehow convince the white dragon that you can provide even more food somehow.
So is there a combative, competitive, territorial thing with these dragons too? Like,
Oh yeah, white dragons don't like anyone
But they're not trying to like usurp another dragon for power.
Not really, unless that dragon
reputation.
has like better territory and they're like, well, I want this territory.
Easier to survive
But
here.
again, they're white dragons. They are at the lowest ranking. So it's not like they can compete with each other. But if they come across like a silver, that silver needs to be younger than them. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble.
Okay.
Because that silver's going to kick their ass.
So it needs to be an ancient versus a youngling. Pretty much.
That's an extreme one, but yeah, like maybe an ancient white can take out an adult pretty much anything else. And an adult white dragon can take out anything younger than that. You know what I mean?
So going into getting the ancient tag is like a real power up.
I got my ancient badge.
Dude, I got so old. I'm so much stronger.
It's fucking great.
So much older.
I wish that was how life was. I wish I could be like 80 and just fucking jacked. And also like smarter than I've ever been.
Yo, Will's turning 80 this year. You know what that means? Don't fuck with him.
Don't fuck with him. He's 80.
He's going to be smarter and wiser and stronger and do better magic. And his house is going to turn you into lava.
It's so true. It's so true. That's amazing. Gosh, where was I in my notes?
I don't know.
White dragons also seem to be physically predisposed to being great hunters, along with their mental predisposition. So they're swift and flexible flyers, able to weather winds and outpace their prey. They're well-muscled and powerful climbers, able to track and pursue prey on foot. They are excellent swimmers, able to dive into Arctic seas and hunt manatee, seals, sharks, and other aquatic life.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, the nictitating membranes of their eyes hone their eyesight against the glare of sunlight off the snow and help them hunt. And more so than any other dragon, white dragon scales allow for superior camouflage and the habitat of their choice. They really do blend in with the ice and the snow. Not even green dragons can pull off the level of camouflage that a white dragon can in their territory.
I was going to say, like, a green dragon, yeah, you can, like, submerge in a swamp, but, like, how deep is a swamp, really, when you compare it to the ocean?
Yeah, and also, like, when you're let's say you're a black dragon in a swamp, right? You submerge camouflage yourself, you're completely invisible. That's great, but you're also stuck there. Like, any movement you make is going to reveal you. The white dragon can, like, lay low in the snow and, like, slowly move, and you will never see it coming if you're not, like, super sharp about it.
Can the white dragon like hold its breath for a long time?
Let me see. I got the stat block here. I don't know if it got aquatic, but I know in past editions that they could. Let me see here. They don't, but they should, if you ask me.
Because that would be fun to just hold your breath for like a few hours and just like ride the EAC, dude, or whatever. You know, like find a current, like completely change locations with ocean currents.
Funny. Yeah, I can see that's just like the turtle from Finding Nemo.
Yes, that was the reference.
That was the reference. Yes.
Excellent work.
Thank you. Where was I in my notes again?
I think it sounded almost like we were gonna
short rest.
Short rest.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna, but since you said it.
Oh, shit. I brought it upon us. I need hit points. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the part of the episode we're not talking about that last thing. Oh, man. We're not going to be talking about those last things for a while now. We're getting towards the end of it. I'm not talking about that. Let's talk about some Patreon folks that we love. Okay. So first up, these are people that have come onto Patreon and have pledged their loyalty to us. No, thank you guys very much. We really, really appreciate it. There are like lots of little fees and things that come along with podcasting and making YouTube videos, and you guys ease our pain. Thank you so much for donating to the show. David, hang on a second. I need to zoom.
You do need to zoom.
Hang on, David. David Gamaliel Loomis.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, David. Justin Loosemore.
Thanks, Justin.
Speedo Bandito.
Thank you, Speedo Bandito.
Rat, Squire of Scrap.
Thanks, Rat.
Squire of Scrap. Okay, now I need to scroll.
There we go. That's
all right. Next up, we got Teddy Tiggles.
Thanks, Teddy.
Thank you, Teddy. Firestarter Henry.
Thanks, Firestarter Henry.
Patrick Norman.
Thank you, Patrick.
/382.
Thank you, /382.
And Kelsey Malone.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thanks, guys. We really appreciate you guys coming on board and helping out the show. Really, really appreciate it. What are we talking about besides the people we love, Will?
Well, I do believe when this...
We skipped the love.
we skipped
the emotions.
Oh, no. What have we done?
My love for you, it exists. I promise. Will's does too. Tell him, Will.
I also love you guys as well.
If you can hear the sound of our voice, we love you for listening. Thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for talking about the show. It really helps when you tell somebody about the show. Thank you so much.
It does.
Go ahead, Will.
And I believe when this episode airs, there will be 1 day left to enter our contest to win the brand new Eberron campaign setting book. I believe it's Eberron Rising from the Last War, coming out on November 19th. And we will be announcing the winner for the contest on same day. If you're interested in winning this book, all you have to do is go on social media, share an episode of our live play D&D campaign, Super Quest Saga. If you share it on Twitter, just use the hashtag SuperQuest. If you share it on any other social media outside of Instagram, just take a snapshot and go ahead and email it to us at thedungeoncast@gmail.com. And if you want to enter the contest on Instagram, Brian has some rules for you.
Yeah, you can do the stuff Will said on Instagram too, but it's probably better to just find the post about the Eberron book. It's the cover of that book. There's a robot, a dude with a boomerang, and a dinosaur. Can't miss it. The rules are down below, but basically, tag 2 people. Recommend Super Quest Saga to them. If you want to use the hashtag Super Quest Saga, that's been pretty cool. You might as well. And then that's it, guys. We've got roughly 150 entrants on Instagram at the time of this recording. So thank you guys all for showing up and coming out to that. It helps the social media overall and the awareness of the show. Everything we're doing, all the contests that we run, they're to get the word out about what we do here. And what we do here is to help you guys learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons.
We do our best.
I've learned a lot thanks to Will. I'm sure you guys have too. You guys talk about it. Thanks to everybody who leaves us an email, a comment, an iTunes review, a Podbean review, a SoundCloud comment. We see everything. We see all that stuff, and all of it matters. Especially apparently Podbean comments right now. That's
Are we getting a lot of those? Is that a thing happening?
We got one, but I've heard a lot of other podcasters talking about that. Mm-hmm. Whatever app you use to listen to the Dungeoncast, if you have an iPhone, you're using like iTunes or whatever, or the podcast app.
Yeah.
That always helps the show. It's not just for new shows. It's for shows that exist all the time or whatever. Leave us a 5-star rating. That's amazing. Podbean, same thing. Leave comments on stuff. Rate the show. Podcast Addict, all that stuff. Apparently, it all really matters. There's a lot of podcasters out there talking about it right now, how much it matters when you do that stuff for shows you care about. And we really appreciate all of you for showing that you care about the show. YouTube comments, all that stuff. It really does matter. So thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for commenting on all our stuff. We love seeing it, honestly. And thanks to everybody who has been having great conversations in our Discord. It's a really great community. There's a link for it down below. You can take a look at it. And obviously you can find us at The Dungeoncast on Twitter, The Dungeoncast on Instagram, and The Dungeoncast at gmail.com if you want. Ad inquiry, anything like that, you can come hit us up. And a big shout out to Hero Forge for sponsoring us with a fucking plethora of ads. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Hero Forge.
So anyway, I think that we'll call it there. Shall we, Will? Shall we go back to our beloved show?
Back to the show.
And we've returned.
Indeed, we have. Let's talk about white dragons.
Okay.
So despite their slightly more dim-witted nature in comparison to other dragons, white dragons have impeccably keen memories. It's just kind of a thing. They have they never forget shit.
Have you seen those people that have like the infinite memory or whatever? I don't know what it's called.
I've heard about things like that.
But they interview them and they're like, I don't necessarily feel smarter than, they're not like necessarily have a higher IQ than anybody, but they're like, I remember that time my dad told me I sucked.
Oh man, that's scathing. That's a rough thing to remember.
It's some crazy stuff.
I would say having a memory like that would be incredibly detrimental to like day-to-day life. If like you have a really tough life, like a really hard like childhood, a lot of people deal with that stuff by forgetting. Forgetting is one of the ways that we kind of like cope. Yeah, it's like there ain't no coping.
Yeah, those coping mechanisms, if forgetting is really a coping mechanism, is off limits. That's
right.
Yikes.
Yeah, it reminds me. Name of the Wind, but moving on.
We love Name of the Wind here.
Yes, it's true.
Please, Rothfuss, do the book.
Exactly.
We love you, man. Do the book.
Back to white dragons. Again, they have impeccably keen memories. This again helps them keep track of the countless ambush locations and animal patterns in their territory. But it also means that white dragons tend to remember every slight, insult, and defeat they ever suffer.
Bummer, yeah.
They hold grudges and oaths of vengeance indefinitely.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Another key character trait many white dragons share is an intense isolationist attitude. They prefer to live in extremely remote location. Extremely remote location.
You can do it, Will.
I can do it.
Let's talk it through together.
We're gonna start at the top.
Let's start with the first syllable.
They prefer to live in extremely remote locations.
You did it!
Which is easy since they live in the coldest places in the world. They avoid contact with all other dragon kind, even other white dragons, only seeking out others of their kind for the purposes of breeding. They're not particularly social creatures, not having any need or want for conversations with others. Most white dragons do not learn to speak until adulthood because they just don't need to.
Yeah, I guess so.
Again, this leads to people thinking they're dumb. They just don't talk.
Yeah. Not exercising a skill does not mean you're stupid.
It's true.
But,
Okay.
That's all I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those who do suffer others to live in their presence usually only allow humanoid or kobold servants within their lairs. And these servants must be able to sustain regular losses as the white dragon kills and devours them on a whim for a convenient meal.
Ooh.
Yeah. As with any other dragon, white dragons also hoard their wealth. They prefer treasure that sparkles like ice. Diamonds, silver, platinum, and sapphires are among their most choices.
They're just like more snow.
More snow.
More twinkles.
I fucking love sparkles.
So, like, where are they keeping that shit? Just under the ice
their
somewhere?
ice caves?
Just somewhere random?
We'll get into their layers in a bit, yeah.
I want to get
They just live out there on the snow plane.
They're just like, they have really dope memories, so they're just like building snow piles.
Yeah.
Just like randomly burying stuff in this like infinite wasteland.
Yeah, sure. So white dragons also tend to collect rare ivory of like walrus tusk or mammoth tusk. From their prey. Lastly, white dragons tend to display trophies of their greatest kills in battles within their lair. So like skulls of ice giants, figureheads of mighty ships they took down, treasure chests from pillaged humanoid communities. Excuse me. White dragon will encase their entire hoard in a protective sheet of ice created from their breath. So it's like frozen and secure.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty cool.
They're just like mouth plastering this like enclosure.
And it's just on display like in a museum. That's super dope.
That's really cool.
So as can be inferred from much of what I've already said about white dragons, they absolutely love the cold. They carve out their territories in high mountainous peaks with snow year-round or upon tundra plains or within taiga forests. Some even choose to live upon Arctic seas among icebergs and glaciers. Below freezing temperatures is almost always a necessity for them as they tend to grow lethargic and irritable in higher temperatures.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah, they do not thrive if it gets above freezing.
Is a taiga forest like really scarce wood, like dead wood kind of looking?
Not dead wood. So it is a lot thinner than like your traditional forest, a more temperate forest. It's like made of evergreen stuff, and like the shrubbery is more like hardy and gristly.
Sure.
It's harder to survive.
Right.
You see it in like northern Siberia and stuff like that, northern Russia.
Okay.
Far north in Canada, there's like a whole taiga wood strip like that kind of goes across the whole globe.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, they get lethargic and irritable in higher temperatures. Their chosen territories keep them out of range of most of their would-be rivals, but white dragons do at times find silver dragons or red dragons in the mountainous regions within their vicinity.
Okay. So,
Probably silvers more than reds because silvers do like it cold.
so are the mountainy regions more like the borders of their territory? Is it, or like, because I'm picturing, when I picture a tundra, it's like this mostly flat. You know how like polar bears are out walking around?
Yeah.
Not for long. Sorry, polar bears.
Tundra is one of their territory types, but they also go to really fucking cold mountains too.
Okay.
So it could be like a really cold mountain, and down below like it's temperate everything. But the white dragon lives way up atop. He's not coming down.
You know what? I randomly turned on some Acquisitions Inc., some packs, and Chris Perkins does a great job as Dungeon Master for those games.
Yeah.
But spoilers for, I don't even know when in the campaign. I was turning on I was just like, everything I'm going to turn on from these guys is going to be great, so I'll just hit some random shit.
Right.
And it was their party was scaling this mountain, and there were frost giants kind of like around the base of it and throwing big ass rocks and stuff down on them.
Right.
And then they get to the top, and there's like a white dragon up in this mountain castle. Like that is abandoned, and I think it had like glossed the entire castle in the breath, kind of like how you're talking about.
Yeah, that's
I'm
something
pretty
they would
sure
do.
that was a detail.
Yeah,
and I forgot all about it until right now.
That sounds really cool. I like that.
I'm remembering the descriptors of the episode. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like white dragons a lot. I know that they're considered like the weakest or whatnot, but they're fucking cool.
A dragon is a dragon, pretty
True.
much.
All the dragons are pretty fucking cool in this game, as they should be.
I know we get into a lot of like how we don't like how similar they are, but in a lot of ways,
that's a stat block thing for me.
It's the minutia, like the little nuance of the dragon can be more varied. But
so
dragon's still a dragon.
So in both the cases of like a white dragon coming across the silver or red, it's greatly outmatched and it will likely abandon its territory if the silver or red decide to like set up shop. There's just nothing they can do. Like it's not like maybe if it was like a black dragon, they're closer in power. Like maybe there could be a standoff, but with a red or silver, it's a big outmatch.
Yeah, it seems like you're not going to really cross paths with a white and a black though.
No, you wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, if the power levels were that much closer, there might be a little bit more of a fight. But
there's no contest with a red and a white.
Exactly. So, or even with a silver and a white.
Well, silvers are fucking super duper strong.
Yeah, they are. They're only second to only golds when it comes to metallics. So another great enemy of white dragons are ice giants. Ice giants often send warriors to slay the local white dragon just to like prove their bravery or in their prowess.
The ice giant sends the warrior.
Yeah, they're like, hey, that white dragon's over there. We should go kill it. Send Crom and Ragnar to go do it. Crom and Ragnar never come back.
Yeah,
because they sucked. So the next guys will do it because ice giants are kind of dumb.
And you're just feeding the dragon.
Yeah, so a white dragon's lair entrance are often strewn with the bones of said giants who have fallen before the dragon.
I see. Okay.
So.
Maybe that's why those frost giants were there attacking that castle. The party happened to
ice giants and white dragons are pretty classic enemies. Plus, giants and dragons are pretty classic enemies too. Like they had that whole like fucking war of empires or whatever, like way back in the day.
We did touch on that, right?
In the giants episode, yeah.
But have we talked a lot about giants and dragons? Is there a lot to talk about?
There's probably a fair amount to talk about, but we haven't really we talked about it in the giants episode because I think it's more of a giants really don't like dragons and dragons
really don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Because they could probably take down a few giants, right?
Yeah. Although giants are very powerful,
yes.
But yeah, like dragons are a bit more outmatching. Plus, my understanding is dragons won that war, so that's probably why giants are more like butthurt about the whole situation.
Well, it's not called Giants and Dungeons or whatever.
It's not called Dungeons and Giants. So yeah, where was I? So the bones of the giants in front of the lair. Speaking of lairs, white dragons often make theirs in ice caverns, cold mountain caves, beneath frozen lakes, or some carve out caverns within a giant iceberg. And that is a really fucking cool idea.
That is really cool.
Floating lair. Because icebergs are fucking huge. And like that would be really dope. I just like that idea a lot.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I like the what's that that villain? It's not a villain, it's like a creature in Empire Strikes Back or whatever in the beginning. Luke gets caught by it.
Yeah, I don't remember
what's
what
that fucking thing called.
I can't remember.
Where's Josh Freeland when you need him?
But yeah, it drags him to the cave.
Yeah, it drags him to the cave.
Yeah.
That would be a cool, like, I like the way that cave looks. It's got like a lot of different kind of geography to it. It's kind of messy.
Yeah,
it's kind
ice
of messy.
Caves are fun. Ice caves are always fun. They're fun to do in video games, and they're fun to do in D&D.
And then you get back to the Horde area, and it's like this clean museum, like igloo style dome.
Right.
The sun is glistening through the top translucent
making
portion.
Everything sparkle.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So whenever an ancient white dragon dies, its body elementally diffuses. This results in an area of intense biting cold. Frost covers the ground here and never melts, and all liquids exposed to the elements in this area freeze within mere moments.
Oh my god, it just turns into liquid nitrogen.
Basically, yeah.
Wow, okay.
So white dragons are fully aware of their status as the smallest and weakest of all chromatic dragons and have a bit of an inferiority complex about it. So whenever a white dragon finds themselves in proximity of a younger version of one of the other, like, more powerful chromatics, they can't help but, like, bully the young dragon. It's just like, this is their one shot.
Right.
So they're going to get that shot
it.
in. Yeah, exactly. So any questions about white dragons before we talk about their regional effects and all this stuff, Jess?
As an adult, like when you come to learn to talk, is that something you can like narratively impose like per game pretty much? Or is there a set like,
of course.
Well, is there a set like lore on that? Like dragon learned to speak when
No,
X
I don't think
happened.
there's any, there's no lore on it. I would just imagine that like, if you're going like super isolationalist, like they probably learned to understand speech when they were children because I imagine their parents did talk to them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then just from there,
Just
they're
guttural-
going to invade communities. They're going to hear people talk, and like, I imagine they would pick up like basic language like that, maybe.
Yeah, like the necessity, like bathroom.
Right.
Where?
Right.
Bathroom.
Yeah, sure. Exactly that. That's the first sentence every white dragon ever says.
Before we get into the yeah, because it's so necessary to learn how to ask where the bathroom is.
Yes, absolutely.
Need food. Where restaurant? Sorry. One more thing I want to say before we get going into the stat block is like, wouldn't it be cool to have a mercenary business in this, like a tundra area, like a team of barbarians is out killing dragons so they can like use their liquid nitrogen bodies to make ice cream.
Yeah, that would be cool. My phone just freaked out on me. Sorry, I missed your joke. Can you say it again?
Freak out. You've been to the creamistry, like the ice cream place?
Oh, yeah.
They liquid nitrogen your ice cream there on the spot.
Yeah, those are cool.
That'd be fun to have a team of barbarians that like kill dragons to harvest their liquid nitrogen blood.
They just out there, watch what it does. And they just freeze the cream. That's great.
I really want some ice cream. Can we go kill dragon now?
That's too funny.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the regional effects and their layer actions. So regional effects.
Snow.
A region containing a legendary white dragon's lair is warped by the dragon's magic. First effect, chill fog lightly obscures the land within 6 miles of the dragon's lair.
Yeah, the fog will fist bump you. It's wearing sunglasses. Super chill.
Super chill. Second effect, freezing precipitation falls within, so snow.
I did it.
So snow.
I did it, guys.
Freezing precipitation falls within 6 miles of the dragon's lair.
I mean, that could be hail, right?
That could be hail. Sometimes forming blizzard conditions when the dragon is at rest. So as the dragon sleeps, the dragon's sleeping.
Oh, dang.
Final effect, ice walls block off areas in the dragon's lair. Each wall is 6 inches thick and a 10-foot section has an AC of 5, 15 hit points, vulnerability to fire damage, and immunity to acid, cold, necrotic, poison, and psychic damage.
Some thick ice, huh? Mm-hmm. Thick walls of ice.
Yep, yes indeed.
Thick with 2 C's.
Uh-huh. If the dragon wishes to move through a wall, it can do so without slowing down. The portion of the wall the dragon moves through is destroyed, however.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's their regional effects.
Cool.
Although that last one is more like a layer effect, but whatever. Mm-hmm. Let's move over to layer actions. So you get 3 layer actions. They all occur on initiative 20. We got 3 actions here. So the first action is freezing fog fills a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point the dragon can see within 120 feet of it. The fog spreads around corners and its area is heavily obscured.
The black dragon did that, didn't it? Just
something
straight
similar.
Up fog cloud.
Yeah. Each creature in the fog, when it appears, must make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 cold damage on a failed save. Oh, so it's a damaging fog.
Did you say DC 10?
3d6. 3d6.
Oh, I thought you said DC 10.
I think. Oh, the DC is 10. It's a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 cold damage.
Okay.
On a failed save.
So you gotta beef that roll because if you're in there fighting a dragon, you're gonna be rolling with some
but
bonuses.
it's still half as much on a successful one. A creature that ends its turn in the fog automatically takes 3d6 cold damage. Oh shit! A wind of at least 20 miles per hour disperses the fog. The fog otherwise lasts until the dragon uses this layer action again, or until the dragon dies.
You can force the wizard to pop the wind wall or whatever.
Yeah, so like it can, the white dragon can pop this and then never have to use this again, so long as no one disperses his fog, and then it could just focus on the other 2 actions.
You got all the players like.
Yeah, dear God. All right, second action. Jagged ice shards fall from the ceiling, striking up to 3 creatures underneath that the dragon can see within 120 feet. So down comes the stalagmites.
Oh, that's really cool. That happens in the Snowhead Temple in Majora's Mask.
Yeah, the dragon makes 1 ranged attack roll. Oh, this is fun. It's not a DC. It's actually an attack roll. I like that. Plus 7 to hit against each target. On a hit, it's 3d6 piercing damage. Final action, the dragon creates an opaque wall of ice on a solid surface that it can see within 120 feet of it. The wall can be up to 30 feet long, 30 feet high, and 1 foot thick. When the wall appears, each creature within its area is pushed 5 feet out of the wall space, appearing on whichever side of the wall it wants. Each 10-foot section of wall has AC 5, 30 hit points, vulnerability to fire damage, immunity to ice, cold, necrotic, poison, and psychic damage. The wall disappears when the dragon uses this layer action again or when the dragon dies.
That seems cool. You can like push people around and like manipulate the movement into the fogs and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are some really solid layer actions. You can get creative. They're fun. You got a zoning thing. You got one that again, tactically can fuck up the battlefield, and then you got one that's just straight damage. I like that. That
sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
You got some thick walls in there.
Indeed. So real quick look at the Ancient White Dragon stat block. Again, we've looked at enough of these, so we know they're generally all the same. But
right.
Ancient White Dragon is a challenge rating of 20, which is the lowest, I think, of all the dragons we've talked about. I think the brass might tie for 20, but I can't remember.
That's still a very high number.
Yeah, exceptionally high number. AC or armor class of 20, 333 hit points. It's got a regular speed of 40, a burrow speed of 40, a flying speed of 80, and a swim speed of 40. Like I said, this thing, it's conquered all types of mobility.
I know. I love how it has a burrowing speed.
Yeah.
And the dragon itself is thick.
It is.
Thick dragon.
It's quite strong.
It's quite strong.
26 strength, 26 con. Everything else is pretty low. Next highest is 14 charisma. So yeah, they're all muscle, no brains.
Okay.
They get blind sight, dark vision, all that jazz. Here's an interesting ability that's unique to white dragons. They get an ability called Ice Walk. Dragon can move across and climb icy surfaces without needing to make an ability check. Additionally, difficult terrain composed of ice or snow does not cost extra movement for the white dragon.
Is that a style of play you ever embody, like making your monster or creature make ability checks to do certain things? I feel like...
That's something I really do normally, unless I'm really imposing something like from outside both the players and the
creature.
NPC's control.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, you guys are fighting, but guess what? This thing is being introduced. It's going to make the fight difficult for both of you. And then, like, yeah, I would.
And then you'll roll for the creature to pass or fail it. But most of the time,
and
you're just...
ice would be one of those things that I would do that for.
Most of the time, if like a dragon wants to do a backflip, it just
does a fucking
it, right?
backflip.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, generally not, but it's still useful. It's got its bite, which is 2d10 plus 8 piercing. Oh, plus 2d8 cold damage. Is that more fierce than other dragons?
It's like Ice Fang.
I don't remember other dragons' bites having like extra damage on top of the initial piercing.
Oh, you mean like elemental damage?
Yeah, was I
stats?
just missing that the whole time? Was like the red dragon doing piercing plus a little bit of fire?
I mean, I can't look it up because that's the
Yeah.
problem with the show is we record we record everything with our
We're
phones.
locked in here.
And my computer is recording audio. So
Yeah.
like I can only guess that it would make sense for a fire dragon, like a red dragon, to do fire damage with its fiery
but I
bite.
swear I wasn't reading that, so now I got to go back and look. But,
Yeah, sorry everyone.
The claw attack is 2d6 plus 8. Tail attack is 2d8 plus 8. It's got its fireful presence. It's got its cold breath, which is a 90-foot cone, DC 22 Constitution saving throw, 16d8 cold damage on a failed save.
Hell yeah.
And then legendary actions are the same: detect, tail attack, wing attack. You guys know.
Yeah, hit him with the dragon's got a bunch of cool extra appendages on it. You can smack the shit out of people with them.
Indeed.
I like the push back with the wing.
That's
like
the most
wing beat
interesting
stuff.
of the legendary actions. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. You can like push them into that fog. Oh, if you use that, you can blow away your own fog cloud.
Yeah. So that would be a bad move.
That would be not good. Put them in the back of the room with the wing beat first, then fog cloud.
There
then
we
never
go.
wing beat again. Unless you fuck this fog cloud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think we can get ready for a long rest.
Ooh, good. I need more rage.
And before we go, I would like to encourage everybody to check out our live play D&D game, Super Quest Saga. It's here on YouTube. It's also on any podcast app you can think of. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on Podbean, I think. It's on everything.
It's on everything.
And,
it should be. Like get your shit from where you want to get it. We got it there, probably.
And
if it's not there, let us know. We'll put it there. It's easy to upload RSS feeds.
Indeed. And if you want to help support us here at the Dungeoncast, I also encourage you to check out our merch store. We have a merch store on teespring.com. You can buy t-shirts. You can buy mugs. I believe there's a link below. I believe there's a little shop below now, too. That should be working.
Yeah, we'll set that up for us. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, so get your cool TDC merch. And with that being said, I think we can call it a game.
Yeah, let's call it a game.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
The Dungeoncast.